Ray Bourque was fighting something no one saw coming. For decades, fans saw him as the symbol of perfection, the Iron Man of hockey. But now, at 65, the truth is coming out, and it's something that's leaving fans heartbroken. This is the man who defined consistency, the defenseman who led by example, who finally lifted the Stanley Cup in one of the most emotional moments in NHL history. But behind that iconic image of triumph was a battle that didn't end when he left the ice. The greatest opponent of Ray Bourque's life wasn't wearing another team's jersey, it was inside him. Please like, share, and subscribe for more NHL content. To truly understand the weight of this story, you have to go back to where it all began. Bourque wasn't just another star, he was the rock that kept the Boston Bruins together for 2 decades. 5 Norris trophies, 19 All-Star appearances, over 1,500 points as a defenseman, his numbers were ridiculous. But more than that, he represented excellence, focus, and discipline. Fans saw a machine. They didn't see the man slowly wearing down behind the armor. When Bourque finally got his cup in 2001 with the Colorado Avalanche, the world saw it as the perfect ending, a storybook finish for a legend who had given everything to the game. But that's just it. He had given everything. And when the cheering stopped and the cameras went away, Bourque suddenly found himself facing something he'd never trained for: silence. He's admitted that the adjustment hit him harder than any body check ever could. For years, he woke up before sunrise, his mind programmed for practice, for preparation, for purpose. And suddenly, that purpose was gone. No team. No fans. No locker room. The rush of adrenaline replaced by the echo of an empty morning. At first, he tried to fill the void with appearances, charity work, even business ventures. To the public, it looked like he was thriving. But privately, Bourque struggled with feelings of restlessness, anxiety, and uncertainty about who he was without hockey. That's when the secret battle began. Close friends started noticing the change. The energy, the spark, it wasn't the same. Bourque had spent his whole life being the calm leader, the steady force. But now, away from the ice, that calmness began to crack. He didn't talk about it publicly. He didn't want pity. But deep down, he knew he wasn't okay. And it all came to a head during a recent interview meant to celebrate his 65th birthday. Fans expected nostalgia, stories of the good old days. Instead, Bourque's tone shifted. His voice trembled slightly as he spoke about the dark times after his retirement, the years he tried to fill the void that hockey left behind. That's when he said the words that stunned everyone: "I lost myself after hockey." Those 5 words sent shockwaves through the NHL community. How could Ray Bourque, the picture of discipline, success, and mental strength, lose himself? But that's exactly why it hit so hard. Because if it could happen to him, it could happen to anyone. As the interview continued, Bourque revealed that he'd spent years hiding his pain behind a smile. He didn't want his family or fans to see him struggling. He said he felt guilty, almost ashamed, for not feeling fulfilled despite having everything: fame, respect, and a legacy etched in hockey history. Then came the emotional turning point. Bourque admitted that it took him years to seek help. He began working with former athletes who went through the same post-career identity crisis. Slowly, he started to understand that his struggle wasn't weakness, it was human. It was part of letting go of something that had defined him for nearly half a century. The revelation left fans speechless. Social media exploded with messages of support. Teammates and rivals alike came forward, sharing similar experiences. It wasn't just Ray Bourque's story, it was the silent truth of so many hockey greats. And the twist: Bourque didn't just talk about his pain, he turned it into a mission. In recent years, he's started mentoring retired players, helping them navigate the emotional and psychological challenges of life after hockey. The same man who once led his team on the ice now leads a new kind of locker room, one built on honesty, healing, and hope. Butch Goring, Wayne Gretzky, and others have publicly praised Bourque's courage, calling it one of the most important conversations happening in hockey today. Bourque himself said, "The game gave me everything, but for a while, it took everything too. Now, I just want to give something back." His words struck deep. It wasn't about goals or trophies anymore, it was about purpose. About redefining what it means to be a legend, not by the records you set, but by the lives you touch after the final whistle. Fans who had idolized him for years said they saw him differently now, not as a perfect athlete, but as a human being with the same fears and doubts they had. That connection reignited the respect people always had for him, but this time, it felt more personal. Even the NHL responded, pledging to expand mental health programs for retired players and their families. Bourque's honesty sparked a movement, just like his leadership once did on the ice. He reminded everyone that the strongest players aren't the ones who never fall, they're the ones who get back up when the world stops cheering. Today, when Ray Bourque appears at events, fans still chant his name. But now, the meaning has changed. They're not just celebrating the defenseman, they're honoring the man who had the courage to face his toughest opponent yet, himself. As he reflects on his journey, Bourque says he's finally at peace. The roar of the crowd may have faded, but he's found something even more powerful: balance, gratitude, and purpose beyond the game. The legend of Ray Bourque will always live on in hockey history, but the story that will be remembered most isn't about his records, it's about his redemption. Because in the end, his real victory wasn't hoisting the Stanley Cup, it was finding himself again when the lights went out. And if you thought Ray Bourque's story was emotional, wait until you hear what another NHL icon just revealed about his own secret battle. You won't believe who came forward next, stay tuned.